G'day everyone, welcome to the Open Mills. My name's Phil and this channel is just a bit about what I get up to with Opal. It could be from mining, buying parcels, cutting, carving, treating matrix, silversmithing and anything else Opal related that I get up to. So welcome to the new subscribers, and as I've chosen not to ask for people to subscribe for a channel like this, you'll either subscribe or you won't. But it's great to see the amount of people that actually have subscribed to this channel. You're a great group. I'm loving the interactions with the comments and the emails I get and bits of information being able to pass on. It's a great little purpose, this channel, for me to reach out and for you guys to reach out as well. I've formed a couple of friendships out of this, so I'm kind of enjoying this very much. So I hope you guys do too. Time to time we do a bit of a giveaway. So recently I did a subscriber giveaway. So today I'm going to show you my wheel that I've ordered. It's very similar to Tony's. He's won in the giveaway, and congratulations to everyone else who's won in that. Stephen Pollack, please email me if you hear this. Cheers. So I'll be showing you my machine in a little minute and we'll get to this, but yeah, I'll go show you that now. Okay, so here's my machine that I've recently purchased, and I have set this one up as to what you'll get out of the box if you end up with one of these. They obviously can't have the hose and all that. Will just need to be screwed on. Hose is easily just pushed up into the fitting, so that's pretty easy, but everything else will be put together ready to go. It'll come obviously with a set of pads. It'll have a 150, this is off my old one, but there'll be this range of 280, 600, 1200, 3000 grit, and 240 grit faceplate. So this is a new one, so this will take a little bit of running in because it'll be nice and rough, fresh. So I haven't used this yet. This will be, let's trial run it. So we're gonna have a quick look over here. So one of the first things you notice, it's mainly when the camera moves around because of the digital camera, but when I move it, you can see all the colors. As soon as I go to stop, the digital camera just doesn't show what I'm seeing. But if I move it, you can sort of see, I don't know why movement matters with the color pickup on this thing. But yeah, the paint job's there. Gorgeous looking Opal interpretation type paint job. So this is a Opal inspired piece, by the way. Yes, you can cut a variety of stones on here, but this is specifically with me in mind with cutting Opal as far as my contribution, so making it a little bit more ergonomic too. So this is the E.R.G.O CM, which is the ergonomic reliable gem opal cutting machine, being Opal inspired. So first thing you may notice, other than the aesthetics, it's got a much deeper tray here, so when you'll see me cut from now on, my hands can actually lower down a bit further, and I've got more knuckle room down in here now without being a bit too cramped up. So that just makes it a bit more user friendly for me. I don't know about other people and how they use them, but yeah, I like to have a bit more room to work. So that's one design difference. The other would be the 400mm width. It doesn't take up much bench space. One really cool thing I'll just quickly go and grab will be these. It's an extension to the shroud. Just come around this side. So what you'll do is you curl this basically in a circle, fit it into the shroud around that wheel, push it right up against the back, and you just push the sides in, and it fits really nicely. So that's an extension to help in case you get too much spray or anything, or you prefer it for the protection. for the eye, but this has actually been intended for one of the attachments, one of which will be the leather pad, which will sit out a bit further so the spray will come out past the actual shroud. So this has been placed in line so that the LEDs are in front of the plate, shining straight in from the sides, so it eliminates when you're looking down the shadow. Let's see if I can quickly get a shot of that. So what I mean is, when the stone's hard up against it, usually down right in that gap where that wheel meets my finger, you end up with a shadow line. You can't quite see what's going on there, and I like to see what's happening, but this eliminates that. So there's a lot of lighting all the way around it, and I think I'll be using it for this one because I'm gonna have a bit of boulder opal to try, and this will just help keep all the mess down the bottom instead of spraying everywhere with boulder opal. We all know how messy that can be, and it'll stain everything red. So got the carpet, that'll be no worries to rinse out, so that's not a problem, but yeah, it just saves the mess getting everywhere. But that's just an additional use. If you want to use it permanent, it's up to you. I won't. I like to get right in there. As I say, I cut with these on, so I get to see quite well into what I'm doing when I'm cutting. But yeah, so what we're going to do is stick to the main cutting side of it for this video with this, as the attachment that I haven't mentioned yet isn't ready, and I don't need to show a polish wheel, but they will fit on. So this will do everything from cutting from 150 grit all the way through a cerium oxide polish on the leather wheel, and more. We'll get to that in another video when it's ready. It's been taking a while, but we're getting there. I don't want to blame COVID, but you know, it's taken an effect on other people anyway that we've relied on, and yeah, it's still happening. So far, here's the machine. Let's test run it. Let's put it through its paces on a bit of glassy opal, some matrix, and some boulder, and see how well it does. And we'll go all the way through to cutting a few stones right to the polish job, and yeah, see what this thing can do. So here we go. So yeah, in preparation for trialing this machine, what I've got here is a few bits of lightning ridge material. We'll see what we can or can't get out of. For when it comes to cutting, in case any of those don't make it, we've got some rubs that need finishing off, and we'll see if we can get a really nice finish on these, just like the other wheel, and don't see why not. Here's a bit of friend of the club that I'm with, that material that came from Minterby, ran into with a grater blade, and kind of got a bit shattered, but we'll see if we can salvage anything out of there, even if we have to slice it in the end. We'll just take the top off and see what the damage is. There's a couple of bits of that. This is a piece I found noodling a while back, so I had a greenish tinge in there. I haven't really had time to get right into it. Not too sure what's going to come of it, but it looked interesting enough, so I picked it up. So we'll give that a go. And a bit of matrix here from the last treat. We'll give that a bit of a shaping. And here's some boulder opal. It's got a nice little stone sitting in there. Not sure what this out here will do. Probably have to take it all back and down and off. We're going to neaten up this and give the wheel a bit of a work in with some boulder, as it will need running in. It's a fresh wheel. It's a nice guy in there. Hopefully get a really good stain out of it. So let's head over to the wheel and start putting it through the paces. Alright, just quickly, what I'm told is this attachment should be ready next week, so the wait hopefully be over. I can show you. So we've got a couple of bits here. It's got a little not quite straight bar through it. So we'll see what we can and can't do with it. Now I'm thinking this will be the top, just the way that that's sitting on there, and then probably this one and that one. This will take a little bit of work, gentle work, to see if any of this webbing yeah, it looks like it does sand. But yeah, just a nice little clean spot will do. So here we go. Got to stop reaching over now. I don't have to reach over to the switch on. I've got a on-off switch on this one. Start at this end. A bit of colour under there. Get a little bit more out of it. Yes. Take this tip off. There we go. Shake that up a little bit more. Very rough wheel, this one. As I say, still running it in. Making very short work, even at a 240. So leave that like that for now. Bit of a hollow in the back. Have to stay there. There we go, one down. So a nice thick bar of colour through there. Fearing that that's the way it's going to face. Good for anyway. But we'll try and take this side down a bit and see what eventuates. if I can get that side too, but it's just got this bit in the middle. It's getting rather thin. There hasn't got much to come out. Might get away with it. Go away here. See what we can do. Yeah, I'll leave that for the dot stick. So now this one, I'm not banking on it turning into anything, but it does have sort of colour throughout. A lot of sand in amongst. It's clearly been rubbed already and given up on. Let's see what we can and can't do. In there somewhere. I'll have to take to it with a saw. More sand deeper. Probably going to be a carving job if anything. Sand, go away. There's some nice colour. Trapped in there. I have to just leave it in there because I really think that's a nice enough stone to at least make an effort with. See what it does around the corner here. Wow, it's coming good. Wow. Spot of sand there. I reckon that'll go. So I think we do have a stone here. In here. probably even try and get rid of that. It's a bit risky, but I reckon we can get around it. Gnarly. Wow, look at that red. I'll do what I can with it, and I'll even set it myself, I think. Just to, don't think too many other people will want to set it. It deserves a setting. Alright, that's working out. 3 for 3. Here's where we might run into trouble. Just these fractures. And it may have to be sliced up into doublet material afterwards. We'll just take the tops and bottoms and whichever we'll figure out which is which after. It's probably the bottom here. Just got the grey patch on the back. Breaking apart on me. Yeah, it's got a lot of shattering in it, unfortunately, so we can get this light in. Sure if you can really see them, but there's lots of shatter marks in this one. Shatter marks. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. See if they're shallow enough that I can get them out. Nope. No, they ran the course. You see it's coming out here. How unfortunate. The further I go down, the cleaner it does get. I might still be able to use it as a doublet. Cleaner again. It's actually cleaned up quite well. Right, backing on that, that'll come up really nice. A couple of little stress fractures in it still, but I think I can work around them once it's got a black backing. So I'll leave that as a doublet. So again, probably won't hold out much hope for this one. See what we're playing with. Use that one to slice and make doublets again. Yeah. Another one for the double pile. I like that blowing. So this one don't hold out hopes for, but just thought it would be interesting. Nothing too exciting. Nothing exciting at all. What a shame. So let's see how it well does in matrix. You can see how deep the treatment on that went. Colour's still there, we'll just need a retreatment. Alright, here's where I'm going to stop and put the shroud on. And you can see the shroud working, keeping all this going everywhere. I think the drummer will have to do the rest of that one. It's got nicely shaped up. So now for doing this, I'm just going to poke this back out here. I need to zoom back, Phil. And curl this up. And try and keep the mess contained. And so now the only mess, other than on the backing plate, is down in the tray. Makes it a bit easier to clean up. Doesn't get it all over your lights while you're trying to see, especially with the boulder. So I'll give this tray a big clean out after. I'm just going to go wash up for a sec. So just quickly what I'm doing here, I'll just show you. If you don't heat your stone, and the stone doesn't have to be hot, it's just got to be not cold. Because if you do this, don't heat the stone, put that on there and sit it. And don't attempt to do anything else. Can you see how it, let's get a pointer stick. Can you see how the wax is contouring around and in to the stone? It sort of goes right in. I want a lip that folds out. So if you've done it like that, won't stick. This was too cold and instantly forms a skin that loses its tackiness from the instant cool of that, just that surface. Everything else can be under it hot and still movable and pliable and deceptive because that skin's there, won't bond. Stone was too cold, so a little bit of heat. I'm not trying to burn my fingers. I'm sure this is probably not safe and people use tweezers for a reason, but I use my fingers for a reason. Because I don't want to burn my finger and I don't want to heat the stone up any more than my fingers burn. So I'm going to get a bit of heat to the wax, a bit of heat to the stone. When I'm ready, put the two down. And while the wax is hot, just run it around my finger. It's not too hot. And sort of push that up against. the stone, and you get these little bits of overhang, which are good, because then you just wave it in the flame, watch it gloss up a bit, and it sinks and sticks to the stone, and it forms that lip that goes out, not rolling up under the stone, so you know it's got a nice seal on it. So that's it for that one. That's on there. Set it level. A good bit of water. That'll set it in place. So that way this should virtually not come off for any reasons to do with the sticking. Sometimes if, like this one's got a bit of powdery white stuff still attached to the bottom, I'm going to stick it straight on that. If that pulls away from the opal, that's going to give way, but that's not the wax giving way. So there's enough bare stone in this one. I'll get it to do its thing. A bit of heat here. Don't burn your fingers. You can feel your fingers get warm. Stop. Let that surface heat soak into the stone and penetrate it a bit. And then you give the surface a bit more heat, and that soaks in a bit more and a bit more until you're like, yep, no, I don't want to burn my fingers. I'll stop. Just letting that cool because it's nice and hot. Don't want to burn my fingers. And then when it gets a certain temperature, I know I can touch it without it sticking to my fingers. And if your wax is melted and you don't keep sitting there trying to boil your wax, your stone won't crack. The wax will melt before your stone gets hot enough to crack. So once your wax is melted, don't heat it beyond that. You'll be safe. Safe enough anyway. Let's see how that goes. Alright, turn the flame off. Here's some I did a bit earlier. And here's what we're going to go cut. Alright, I'm going to start with this one. I don't think this is going to come out without losing the colour. I'm going to see what we can do, even if it ends up, I like to keep this spot, but even if it ends up across there somewhere, and roll that out if possible. I'll give it a light. This pad's a bit rough being new, and I've just got to watch the extra scratch marks. So we'll give it a bit of a shape. bit smaller. Looks like I'm starting to lose colour at this end though. That's okay. So even if we have to come across here. I'll have to stop there and let that last bit come out on the next pad. And it's chipped off colour. Alright, here we are, end result. I'm quite pleased with the performance of the machine, but I did run into a bit of an issue with the 1200 and 3000 grit pads. So we're going to have a chat to the manufacturer about that. So I'll finish that with my pads in the end. Some of these may need to go back and be finished off properly. But first off the bat, it's gorgeous coloration. It's not super bright. The camera's probably picking up a little bit more than, I don't know, 6 1/2 dozen the other. It's very good representation actually, especially the lighting. It's not darker than it appears or anything. That's the colour of it. Actually, I might start over these two. They're going to have to end up being doublets. They're just way too thin around the edge. So, for survival's sake, I think doublet's going to be the way to go for these two. Same again with this one. Edge is just way too thin there. But that's a really nice stone. I think I'll make a magnificent doublet. So I'll go to the effort. Let's see what we can salvage. So that's just those two. One didn't survive. It's still on the stick. Probably could finish up, but there wasn't much chop. That was that purpley one. This one's got a few little marks in the surface I think I need to go back and get out. That was from the 1200. Anyway. Good thing that I'm being a bit of a guinea pig with this machine. Anything goes wrong, it will go wrong with me first. This one was one I actually didn't expect to turn out at all. I thought it was going to be sand shot. It was just a bit of fun. It's a nice colour. But has turned out to be quite a fantastic little gem. It's a reasonable size. A red flash in there from before. And the bottom has a bit of wax, but it's also got that. So I might pick the wax out and somehow leave a bit of an open back in spots so that flash can be enjoyed. But yeah, it's not too bad a result. And this one with the blue in it, really liking personally. That's turned out fantastic. Does have a little sand spot on the side, but I think a bezel can hide that. And this little one, I don't know if we need to zoom in a little bit more. It's not too bad. Little oval. Be a nice little ring stone anyway. And the matrix. You see the purple on there. We'll get that treated again and see what it looks like. I know it goes very black, so I can't wait to see that. And that'll be in an upcoming video for the next treatment video. It's got some really nice colour. I can just, I remember what it was like before. So if you can use your imagination, and that's going to look awesome. So, that said, that's the end of this video. It's not a review video as such for the machine, but that was my first use of it, the first use that we've used of an actual built machine other than the prototype. So I think it went through its paces quite well, but is a fraction of its use. Can't wait for this attachment. Hopefully next week, today's Sunday, so this week coming, we're going to see that. I'm really hoping. I've been told, so stay tuned. Anyway, I'll end this video here and see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers.